Hi guys, I'm Caitlin Blair. I want to make an intro video with Procreate dreams. This is like really inspired by Imzon. I love her art and I've followed her for so long on Pinterest, and she recently animated her own intro with Procreate dreams, and I'm like, okay, that's cute. But then there was a trend that kind of started from that, where her fans were using her art and then animating it not by themselves but using AI. And I wanted to make an intro, but I don't want to use AI to do it. So I guess what I'm saying is I need to learn how to animate. I've never used Procreate Dreams before. There's gonna be a learning curve. Probably a big one. That's okay though. I learn fast. I'm pretty optimistic. Like, my experience with animating is very small. I've animated blinks before, so like just a few, like 7 frames, and then I've done animatics, but you know, not like moving frames. It's just like a single thing that lasts for a huge clip. And yeah, I was never one of those like hardcore animatic creators that actually put a lot of work into it, because I kind of gave up halfway through, so I just do the bare minimum. With the resurrection of this channel, I don't want to take shortcuts or the easy way out. I never feel like more at peace than when I'm creating something, no matter like what it is. It could be a bracelet, or making a new microphone, or painting something, or just paper mache, whatever it is. It makes me feel so alive and good. And one thing is, whenever you have a business that requires you to draw and your art, it's very easy to lose sight of doing what you love, because you think, oh well, I only have like this amount of time, but I can either use that to do something I like to do, but I won't really get a reward off of that, or I can do something that may pay off financially or may get attention on one of my accounts. So often, as a small business owner or an artist that's trying to grow, you're going to choose the option that you think is going to benefit you. But what you don't think of, or what often slips my mind, is doing stuff for you is benefiting you. You're choosing to invest in yourself, because if you do something for everyone else all the time, you're gonna burn yourself out and you're not gonna love what you do anymore, because you're doing it for other people. So that's what I've struggled with in my decade of drawing. So I want to learn to love creating again, and that means pushing myself to keep trying until I'm proud of where I've gotten. Sometimes not investing in yourself means doing something but not doing it the full way, even though you know you can do better, because you're like, oh well, that's a waste of time, I don't really need to do that. But like, you do. You should not put out content that you're not proud of. You should not put out content that you don't love. What's the point of doing something that you hate? Because people are going to see that. They're going to be like, okay, well, they didn't try that hard. They don't like that even. It's not that good. You know, your love is reflected in what you do. And if you don't have that, whatever. If all I do is take shortcuts and rapidly produce garbage, that is not very conducive to bettering myself. So we're going to learn how to animate. So I'm gonna first start with sketches. I was sketching off some face, and I was looking up some poses, because I realized whenever I did like my initial sketch, something I'd seen before, and I did it on a copy though. So I was like, I gotta do something else. Here's the key to animating blinks. And now I learned it all from a YouTube video, so I'm gonna link that. Pit stop number 1. I did not want to include this in this video because it is embarrassing. It is very embarrassing. But it's important. We are all embarrassing people and we make mistakes. So I embarked on a new journey into a new platform without watching a single tutorial. I pressed buttons and swapped circles, and I ended up with this. It's basically metaphorically held together with sticky tape and hot glue. It's technically a fine finished product. It's not remarkable. It gets the job done. It has a blink. There may be remnants of green screen around the eyes, and there will be trouble in the background when I export it, and they will definitely be green screen too. But it's complete. Things may not have lined up where they were on my drawing, but it's complete. But I can't stop there. This is where I revisit the standard I just set for myself. This intro will be on every single video I post. People will see this and they will get their first impression of me and my art. Do I want to put this out in the world? My stamp of approval on it, knowing it's not as good as it could have been. Honestly, would you have known about the green edges if I hadn't told you about them? No, probably not, but that's not the point. because I will know there's green screen edges there. I know I can do better. Even though I haven't done better before, I think I still could. I just believe I could. It means I have to backtrack on hours of work and painstakingly delete 157 frames of blinking, but it means I'm gonna end up with something I'm proud of. Back to animating. So I abandon everything I've done and I go back to square one, my finished drawing. I realized that I don't have to export each layer out of Procreate and then painstakingly realign it and re-upload it into Procreate Dreams. I can simply just import the entire drawing file. I did not know this before until I randomly was scrolling on Instagram and I realized someone else did it. So thank you, Instagram, for existing, I guess. That's already looking better than I did before because everything's aligned actually. So next I start with animating. This intro will be a shorter sequence than the other. I try to do 15 seconds, but I was doing some research this time and everyone's like at 5 seconds, so there's really no point.
Here's the animating process. I'm basically just like using the warp feature to move the hair around. To move the arm, I set the vertex, it's not called that, in the elbow, and then I play around with it because I had to go back and fix it at the end because it was looking a little wonky and the arm was looking like a little too misshapen. And then for the blinks, of course, I used my frames that I had done before. For the background, I had used a painting I had done before. I could not find, I was at home whenever I did it and I couldn't find like a good resolution photo of the painting, so I blurred it so it looks a little bad. I think I moved the painting around in the back. I'm not sure if I did in the final product, you'll see. But for the white border, I took it into Procreate, I turned on the animation assist, and I just kept drawing over the white lines again and again, which you can do that without animation assist, just like set the layer to a lower opacity and just like draw over it each time. Try not to be perfect to replicate it. Have fun with it and try out some different shapes.
My conclusion. I made an intro and I did it, and it took forever, but I did it. No, it didn't really take forever. It took longer than I wanted to, which was 5 minutes, but that's okay. That's just how it goes. I love how it turned out, and I'm really happy I decided to upgrade the original animation that I made. Because it's just worth it. It's better. I'm happy with how it turned out. And now it's time for the final reveal. So thank you so much for watching, and remember to like, subscribe, and check out the coloring book I just released. It's on Amazon, and I have another coloring book too. So I have a short and simple coloring book and an enchanted airs coloring book, and they're both pretty cute.